Hi, this is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson, here with John this morning at Advanced Chiropractic Relief. And you can see John's 6'7". He's a little taller than I am. I'm 6 foot. So when I get behind him, you can't already see me, but when I get behind him, I'm evaluating his biomechanics and his posture. Posture is a mirror of spinal biomechanics. In the Z-axis, his head's way forward, his ears dropping all the way out here in front of his clavicle. It should be back here over his shoulders. What this does is it creates increased weight-bearing compressive stress all the way through the thoracic spine, thoracolumbar spine, lumbo-sacral spine, all the way down into the SI joints. It makes it harder for him to stand up in gravity, and that hurts you just standing there, right?
Yes, sir.
And see, his head's also forward and translated to the right, while his pelvis has translated to the left on the x-axis. So we evaluate people from the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis, three-dimensionally. Now he's also a side sleeper because I see his right shoulder and hands behind his left hand.
That's correct.
Yeah, and you turn your head that way
Yes,
too.
sir.
Okay, so let's come over here and lay on you tummy for me. I've already done his orthopedic neurological examination. Now John's already had back surgery at L-5 from a herniated disc, but he's got another herniated disc down at L4, L5 right now. But in my examination of him today, what we found, I think, to be the main culprit of his sciatica down his right leg is his right SI joint. That tightened up there, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
In your pelvis and your thighs, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's tender on his right SI joint right there. Now this is a very specific test for the sacrum here. This is the middle triangular shaped bone. Lift your right leg up straight up here. And that's painful, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, relax that one. Do the same thing on the left now. Now see, he doesn't have as much problem on that left side. Was that not as painful as the right one either?
No, sir, it was not.
And Greg, if you can get up here and show the scar right here. This is from his previous surgery, and that was back in 1995.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and now you can feel not only the scar over his spinous processes, but also it's already proliferating out into the paraspinal soft tissues, the quadratus lumborum, multifidus, erector spinae muscles, even down into his sacrum and SI joints. So anytime you have surgical incision, you are going to have scar tissue formation afterwards. And John, you told me earlier during our history and consultation that short-term, the surgery gave you some relief, but then long-term, it's not been effective at all. In fact, it's gotten worse.
That's correct.
So, really, the first and foremost thing you should do before considering an invasive surgery or medical procedure is seek chiropractic care first. And if that doesn't alleviate the condition and problem through biomechanical correction, you know, surgery may be an option for you. But I only refer patients out for surgery if they're not responding to the chiropractic care that we provide here, or they're having bladder or bowel dysfunction, and you haven't had any of that.
No, sir.
So I'm going to adjust him for the first time today. I'm going to start off with his right SI joint, because that's the main culprit, and then his sacrum on the right side. Now some of these will be a little sore at first, John, because they've been out for a while. They'll feel better when they get hurt. There we go. There we go. John's a local Houstonian. As you can see, we grow them big down here in Texas. There we go. You played college ball, didn't you, John?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Here in Houston?
Yeah, down there at Wharton Junior College.
Okay. Now, see, your legs are even now, and I bet you $1 to a donut, this feels a little easier than the first one did.
It does.
Yep. So that's just for me adjusting your SI joint, your sacrum, and your left SI joint, as well as the L5 through L1 vertebrae. I'm going to come up higher because I'm going to adjust the lower thoracics on that knee chest table. Okay, boy, you tight, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to decompress you. You're compressed. Slide down this way. If you feel that your spine's compressed, it probably is. Slide down this way. And if you've got forward head posture, I assure you your spine's compressed. Let's turn you on your back now. Forward head posture is anything in the Z-axis which your ears come up in front of your shoulders. Yep, that's good right there, John. Yes, sir. Good. Now slide down this way about a ½ an inch and put your arms straight out to the sides, palms facing up. Adjust. Complied with everything that all of our new patients who come here with herniated disc or radiculopathies need to. He brought his MRI in for me to look at. Okay, relax this in my hand now. You're going to feel this all the way up. Just let this leg go limp. There you go. Now you should have felt that in your knee all the way up to your right low back.
Smokes.
Yes, sir. There you go. Super. Okay, let's sit you up sideways and face that way, please, sir. No, you want to get up sideways always.
Okay.
There you go. There we go. That's it. Yeah. I bet you've never had all these other joints adjusted like this.
This is all first time.
There we go. Okay, let's come over here. You know what's fixing to happen here.
I've seen this before.
Yep. This is why you came, isn't it? You notice he didn't want to answer that before his first time. So he's got scar tissue down there, so I'm expecting to break up some fibrotic adhesions and scar tissue down there. Slide up a little bit underneath that. There you go. There, good. Okay. Don't let me forget, I need to do the knee chest on him before we get back to his posture. Now see, you gotta bring your legs up to where they're parallel with the floor. You're a little taller, so you actually need to get yours up even more, kind of like this.
Okay.
See, that should feel more relaxed when you go back.
It does.
Okay. Just keep your teeth together on this one, and John. Yes, sir, Bob.
Holy smokes.
Yep, holy smokes. That's a fairly common reaction here too. I know you felt that all the way down. Let me have your neck. There you go. Okay, I got you. Where you left big toe. There you go. Next thing I'm going to do is get you over here on this knee chest table because your lumbo-sacral spine has changed the biomechanics in your thoracolumbar spine here too. So let's get off sideways, remember. Push yourself up with your arm. Yep. Okay, and then we're going to come over here on this table. What's that?
So that's a struggle.
Yeah. Now most people are going to have some soreness after their very first manual spinal decompression just because they've been compressed for so long, their tissues have adapted to that. So it's kind of like going to the gym and working out hard the first time, you get sore afterwards. So we always advise patients to put crushed ice in a freezer baggie directly on the skin over whatever part's sore. Let your spine kind of just sink with gravity in there. Yep, let it keep sinking in there. Yes, sir. That's a deep one. Good job. Yep, that'll straighten your act up. Okay, so we're going to stand here in front of the mirror for me now again. Now, let's have you flex your head forward and backwards again. I'm still kinking up a little bit right there.
A little bit.
Just let your head still forward, so I'm going to adjust that C5, C6 posterior. Now I want you to pull your shoulders up and back. Now your head's forward and to the right, so we'll bring it straight back to get your ear over your shoulder. You're translated to the right, see, so we go left. Now look back at the wall, shift your pelvis straight right too. Hold that right there. Yes, sir. Okay. That's your exercise right there.
Feels like it.
Now, let's have you flex your head forward and backwards again. This should feel a little easier than the previous ones.
It does.
Back to neutral. Okay, see, instead of your ear being all the way out here, it's right here now. So we still got about an inch to go, but that's pretty good for your very first adjustment. And look at the equal spacing down here now.
I can see the difference.
Yep. You're more centered up than you were when you walked in the door.
Absolutely.
A lot of people want to know what the very first time it feels like on the manual spinal decompression feels like, and you'd be a good person to tell them that because you're so tall. And you've had herniated disc and operation already.
Yeah, there's a bit of a shock to it.
Right.
But it's not as scary once that
initial pop takes place.
There's a relief there.
Okay,
it
great.
Is. So.
Are you still getting the right leg pain as much and tingling?
No, actually, because I've had it so long, I could feel a little bit something there, but not like when I was sitting here and we were talking.
Okay.
It's definitely subsided.
Super.
So.
Super. Well, thank you for sharing your experience with everyone.
This
is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson, coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas, with some big Texans here in John this morning. We'll see y'all soon.